So my name's Trevor Lopez. I'm 21 years old and I live in Brentwood. Right now I'm studying medicine at Imperial in West London. So I'm in my 4th year right now and out of 6. So, halfway through, just finished halfway. And it's enjoyable. I've really enjoyed the clinical aspects of my degree so far, so the seeing patients and following around the doctors in the hospital, trying not to get in the way. So yeah, I am having fun in medicine. Both my parents are doctors, and my brother's also gone into my older brother's also gone into medicine. Is all I've ever kind of experienced. I know it's a safe job in terms of job security. I know it pays good money, so subconsciously it must have been, a large part of it must have been that, but my personal reason would probably be around year 12, when I was about 16, 17, or even earlier perhaps. I really had to decide what profession to go into because you're choosing your A-levels and that at the time it feels very important. So having been to a couple of different placements in my year 11 summer, I just found it to be the most fulfilling medicine, because you see patients that come to you and are so thankful for everything that you've done to them. And it's that gratitude that really made me decide to go for medicine. Because you don't really find that in many other fields where people are just genuinely so thankful to you. My family's actually, my parents, they moved here from India, from southern India, a place called Kerala. And they moved here before I was born, to around the kind of Lincolnshire area, and we moved around a little bit before we settled in London, or around London. And yeah, I've grown up in London pretty much all my life, gone to school around the Essex area. All of my family is Catholic, and we are all quite religious. More so, I would say, than other Christians I've met, at school or something like that, where they'd only go to church in Easter and Christmas, which quite surprised me when I was growing up as a kid, just speaking to other kids about this kind of stuff. Going to church every week is just such a normal thing for me. So then seeing and hearing these other kids who are Christian, it surprised me. And I would say that we are quite religious. We do pray regularly together, and we celebrate a lot of the holy events together. I think it's been fairly mixed, to be honest. So there are good things and bad things. So obviously you're in London, or at least for my university, I'm in London. I'm near some amazing buildings, amazing churches, such as the Oratory, who have some really great fathers there who can support you and guide you. Obviously there is a Catholic society at almost all universities, and they might not be the biggest societies or have the most enjoyable events, but they have something where it's almost a call to faith. You can pray with them, you can enjoy activities with them, some socials. But on the other side, it is definitely quite a dangerous thing as well, because living in such a secular society that we live in England, going to university, it's very easy to get caught up in university life and forget about religion entirely. In that respect, I would say that that is a major downside of it, especially since normally you'll move away from your family, and at least for me, the main thing that, at least growing up, which was making me go to church every week and making me follow all of the practices, was my family. So moving away from them can also be a major factor in kind of just loosening loosening the kind of amount that you practice. It's been quite a long process deciding to embark on such a long-term kind of course. But I think it started about a year ago when I was actually talking to my friend. One of my close friends is Muslim, and he actually joined a seminary quite recently, or not quite recently, a year ago, a year before. So he was kind of asking me questions about my faith with the insight that he has, having been more learned than he was a year ago. And then obviously I couldn't answer these questions because they were quite in depth and I didn't actually have the knowledge. So it made me think, and over the course of the year and the course of many more conversations with him and trying to learn more about it myself just through the resources I had access to, I came to the conclusion it's very difficult to learn much without any to learn much on the internet, because you're not sure if the information is accurate or not. So I was really looking for something, a kind of course like the one I found at Maryvale, where you can be taught and you can trust in the accuracy of the sources. I could have, for example, gone to one of the Defending the Faith kind of series of meetings at any of the churches that offer it nearby, which is what most people, I guess, would do if they were in my position. The only problem with that was it's a bit disjointed in learning, and I don't believe that it's the best way to, if you're trying to learn something methodically, I don't think that's the best way to do it. And I appreciate its purpose and its use for lay people that don't have time to do a part-time course, but they do have an hour free every week to go to this kind of session. So I do appreciate its purpose, but for me, I was just thinking, if I want to learn about my faith, I want to learn about it rigorously and properly. You know, being in an academic field such as medicine, it's what I'm inclined to do. So seeing a 5-year course, part-time course, online, it was theoretically possible for me to complete it, albeit quite difficult, alongside medicine. But I thought, if I don't start it now, I won't be able to start it at any time, because I'm always going to be busy in my career. I think the main reason is to defend the faith to myself, and in that way I can be much more secure in my own faith. Not that I'm not right now, it's just that I have, as everyone does, some questions, and I'm hoping that through doing this rigorous course there won't be many questions left to ask in that sense. Obviously there'll always be more questions, but the fundamental ones will be answered, and I'll have a very good understanding of the answers as well. The other thing is, and another big part is, that I genuinely did want to have more knowledge, especially in terms of the law, because I feel like that's a very important thing, which the fact that many people don't actually know the law. It sounds kind of funny saying it, because if you don't know what the law is, how do you know if you're breaking it or not? So that was another big part of it. But there are a lot of other reasons as well, which aren't small, such as deepening my faith in general, having a closer relationship with God, being able to talk to my close friend, as I said, about my religion, and engage in debates, intellectual debates, where we can further our understanding together, and things like that.